We've gone through history, learned about taste, and found out what it's about. That most sugary and wonderful berry, the grape. Now we are going to head into the vineyard to learn more about vines, how they produce grapes, and how the environment around them can influence their grape's flavor. We are going to start in this lesson by naming the different parts of the vine and understanding how they develop as they go through their yearly life cycle. Then, at the end of the lesson, we will define a very important winemaking word, ripeness. Here is a typical vine. All Vitis vinifera vines will look broadly the same. Under the ground, there are the roots. The roots anchor the vine to the soil and grow downwards, searching for water and nutrients that help to keep the vine healthy and alive. Above the roots is the trunk. Just like trees, you can tell how old a vine is by the thickness of their trunk. The thicker the trunk, the older the vine. As vines get older, they produce less fruit, but the fruit is more concentrated and intensely flavored. Extending from the trunk are the arms or branches. These will look different depending on how the vines are looked after. It is from these arms that shoots emerge each year. Shoots of a vine describe the leaves and fruit that grow on the vine every year. Let's take a look at the cycle of growth a vine goes through each year. The life cycle of a vine is the yearly journey that every vine takes to produce grapes. This means that the wines will get made from these grapes once a year. This gives us an important wine word, vintage. The vintage of a wine is the year that you see printed on the bottle. This is the year that the grapes were picked. Let's start at spring, when the year's growth of a vine first starts. During the previous winter, the vine has been sleeping through the cold, storing up water and nutrients. As the temperature warms up in spring, once the grapes have ripened and the winemaker is happy, the grapes will be picked and sent to the winery to be made into wine. Once all the grapes have been picked, the vine will continue the process of photosynthesis to store up sugars for the next year's growth cycle. This energy is stored in the trunk and the roots of the vine. Once there is enough of these sugars, the leaves turn yellow and fall off. The vine then takes a long, deserved rest through the winter, where the roots grow and continue to store up nutrients from winter rains and prepare for another season of growing. Let's rewind for a bit and look a little closer at the word ripeness. But what does ripeness mean? Basically, ripeness is the time when a fruit is good to eat. But it's not always that simple. What about bananas? Some people say bananas are perfectly ripe when the skins have just turned yellow. Others say it's when they are freckled with tiny black spots. So when is a grape perfectly ripe? We know that sugars are sent to the grape as they ripen. So one part of ripeness is that the grape has the right amount of sugar, enough to taste good and enough to be used in fermentation to make wine. But there must also be enough acidity in the grapes so that the wine tastes refreshing. As grapes ripen and sunlight and heat allow for sugar to build up in the grape, the acid in the grape decreases. So perfect ripeness is when these two elements are balanced just right. But other parts of the grape also ripen. The tannins contained in the grape's skin and stalks also need time to ripen. The longer they spend in the sun, the more velvety and smooth the tannins become. What grapevines rarely enjoy is time for their grapes to slowly ripen, so that the stalks, grapes, and tannins all ripen at the same time. You cannot make great wine if one part is overripe while another part is underripe. In the rest of this subject, we are going to learn how things like climate and soil can affect how grapes ripen.